So where will Romain Grosjean be racing in 2016? He knows, as he says, he's got all the information we don't have. But one thing I did find interesting, the reason I asked him about Oxfordshire is Banbury, where Haas F1 are based. Banbury is in Oxfordshire. Enstone, where Lotus/Renault are based, Enstone is in Oxfordshire. And the fact that he had a slight pause and had to think about, is it in Oxfordshire? Is that telling us it's Haas? He knows that Renault/Lotus/Enstone is in Oxfordshire. He's been going there for decades as a Renault development driver. But the fact he had to think about it, I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it. I probably am. But he certainly got a little defensive and a little short and a little serious after not being able to answer quite as quickly as maybe he'd wanted to. Because the answer is yes, whichever team he drives for will be based in Oxfordshire. I'm reading too much into it, aren't I? Yeah, Jason agrees, I'm reading too much into it. Valtteri Bottas. Great scrap with Felipe Massa at the end of the Italian Grand Prix, ultimately finishing just behind his teammate. Been a frustrating year for the Finn, passed over for the Ferrari gig that many assumed would be his. Really a season at Williams that's not coming up to expectations. The frustrations now for the Finn starting to show. We finally saw that final lap battle between you and Felipe. It didn't make the broadcast, but we've seen it online since then. It looked like a good battle between the two of you, but I can tell one you probably didn't enjoy as much as if you'd crossed that line just a couple of inches further ahead.
Yeah, being 0.3 behind your teammate, P4, it could be the toughest, toughest result you can have, really. But it was obviously very close. There was not a real chance to do any move without risk. So that's how it is sometimes. I need to look back to Golofang. I should have been ahead, and then could have been a different story.
Is that race kind of reflective of this season as a whole? Just that little bit frustrating, and ultimately the result being not quite what it could have been.
Well, yeah, you could say that, and there's been obviously I've had so much bad luck this year, starting with Melbourne with a back injury, and then there was this strike of Austria, Silverstone, Spa, Budapest. Such disappointments after another, so it's been tough, but I'm sure it will turn at some point.
How do you redouble your efforts now for these last few races of the season? Now we're into these flyaway races, because it is tough, it is different. It's not like being in Europe, there is a different vibe.
It is different, yeah, and with the new parts we have here in Singapore, trying to create more downforce into the car, that should help us, for the rest of the year, hopefully. And there is those, as we call, good tracks for us to come, like Japan, USA, Abu Dhabi, Sochi. So there's still many opportunities for good results.
Is it about hunting down Ferrari, or is it about holding on to the position that you've got in the championship now?
I think best chance to holding the position is hunting down the Ferrari, so that's the goal.
A lot of interest in young Sergio Perez this weekend. Nico Hülkenberg was reconfirmed at Force India last time out in Monza for 2016, and we expected Sergio Perez to follow shortly afterwards. He told us, and indeed the team told us, that they were hopeful of concluding a deal with him for 2016 before we arrived here in Singapore. There has been no announcement, so we put the question to him. Has the deal been done? How's that contract looking? It's supposed to be done by now.
It's supposed to, yes. It's looking good. Hopefully, I said in Monza that I was going to announce things here, but hopefully now for Suzuka.
And the beard's gone. Nice and cool for this week.
Yeah, it's a very warm weekend, so we gotta stay as cool as possible.
Good, right. Now we've got the important things out of the way. How much are you looking forward to the race this weekend?
A lot. I really enjoy this place. It's just this place so demanding, and the way you prepare yourself physically is so different to any other track you work, or at least myself. I work a lot on the heats and on the getting used to heat, because the race here is just very demanding just to finish it physically. So mentally it's another big factor. So it's a combination of things, It's mentally very demanding and physically. So yeah, just looking forward to it. It's just a great place.
Tell us what it's like on Sunday night when you get out of that car, having done 2 hours in this heat, racing wheel to wheel with your rivals.
It's really you just can't get out of the car. It's that demanding. People don't imagine how demanding this place is. But just to do a single lap in qualifying, you even get out of the car and you are like really exhausted about it. And to do a whole race, you always go up to the 2 hours in this place. So it is very, very demanding.
The B-Spec car's been, I think we can say, a success. You've got updates planned for the Mexican Grand Prix, though. How much are you looking forward to that for your home race?
A lot. I'm just looking so much forward. It's now less races to go. I think 5 races to go for my Mexican home Grand Prix. So yeah, I'm just looking so much forward. It's not sure that the upgrade can come in time for the Mexican Grand Prix. We're trying. The team is trying their best. Obviously, we want to do very well in front of my home crowd, but it's one important race for me, and yeah, it's just a normal race.
They've named one of the corners after Nigel Mansell. What have you got to do for them to name a corner after you?
Have to do a very strong career in Formula 1 as well, similar to Nigel. And I'm happy for Nigel because he has a lot of history back in Mexico, and he's a great guy, so I'm very happy for him.
Been a busy couple of weeks for Daniel Ricciardo. Straight after the Italian Grand Prix, he went to Le Mans, not to drive himself, but in his guise as, karting entrepreneur, I guess you could say, with an association with Birrell ART. The Ricciardo kart is now available for competition, and he was down at Le Mans for the CIK FIA World Championships just last weekend. Hello, mate.
G'day.
How are you?
Good.
Le Mans. You were there. How was it? Was it fun? Was it different being a team boss as opposed to a driver?
Boss. It was weird. It was definitely weird being in such a big race in terms of, there was obviously a lot of hype around the karting scene, obviously that race, and not being involved in terms of not driving. But it was quite cool actually. You see the drivers suit up and get ready, and I was just relaxed, having a drink, and when I say drink, I don't mean anything alcoholic, but just like chilling out basically. And it was cool. Karting's come a long way since I raced. A bit overwhelming actually. So yeah, it's sure, a lot of the kids are like, well, there's an F1 driver here, but to be honest, when I'm there, I'm like, these kids are, even the guys, some guys that were racing when I was, and even as a kid, I was looking up to them as karters. So I was a bit overwhelmed as well in that environment. It was quite cool.
Now back to the day job though. How much are you looking forward to this race? It should theoretically be one that suits you.
Should be. I'm looking forward to it, definitely. It's a lot cooler in terms of the conditions. We do a lot of heat training and stuff to prepare for this race, but right now it's not that hot, so we'll see how it goes on the weekend. But in any case, where the car should look strong around here. I've always enjoyed it. I've always had a good outing here in Singapore, at least in quali. So yeah, fingers crossed we got the speed we're after and we can fight Ferrari.
Just expand on that for us, could you? Why does this circuit, or why should this circuit suit the car?
Low speed, so less dependent on power and engine. Obviously, that's our Achilles heel predominantly this year, and max downforce. Corners, braking. This is where the Red Bull's strong, traction, things like this. So it's very stop-start. There's not many high-speed corners, so I would prefer more high-speed corners for personal satisfaction. But in terms of the car, what it's good at, this is pretty handy for us.
Coming into the Singapore Grand Prix, of course, the battle at the front is all about this team. It's all about Mercedes-AMG Petronas. Lewis Hamilton stands on the verge of equaling his idol, Ayrton Senna's win record here in Singapore. Amazingly, kind of at the track where he made that decision to leave McLaren and join Mercedes. But at the same time, Nico Rosberg will be hoping to take that advantage back. Interestingly, if Lewis Hamilton was to finish second to Nico Rosberg for the remainder of the races this year, Hamilton would still be crowned champion. Rosberg has got it all to do and will be running his fourth power unit this weekend. After that, the older unit went up in smoke at the end of the Italian Grand Prix. So here is Hamilton standing on the verge of history, and here is Nico Rosberg hoping to get things back swinging in his direction here in Singapore. Quotes coming into this race this week from the team, from you, saying that you've got nothing to lose. Not true.
No, I never said that. Did I say that? I have nothing to lose? No. Just that I don't give up. Giving up is not an option, and still I have chosen to keep the frame of mind that it is possible, and I am optimistic and keep pushing and then see how it goes, because in sport we know historically a lot can happen.
And the bad luck's always seemed to fall on you this season. Has something got to turn? Has there got to be a bit of bad luck for Lewis in order for you to take this championship fight to him?
I don't know. I mean, I just want to look at myself and do a great job, win some races, and then see what goes on the other side.
It's not something I'm really thinking about, to be honest, and it's not something I'm particularly focused on. I, as a kid, I always wanted to do what Ayrton did. I wanted to do something similar to what he did. I never ever thought that I would be getting similar poles or wins, or But of course, I set out to do something like that. So I've only just been made aware that I'm on those levels now, which just doesn't feel real, But I'm also conscious that Ayrton wasn't fortunate enough to continue with that success that he was having, and I know that if he had stayed, he would have won many more races. So it's not really fair to say that was his best, So I think really I think I'm at the stage where I feel if I get to, I'm going to get to that level that he was on in terms of the results, and then I'm going to carry the baton for both of us and see how far I can take it. Honestly, it's the greatest period of time in my life. As a driver, you're always trying to excel as a driver, but you'd hope that you could have a car like I have today to be able to extract the best of your ability, extract the all of you think that there is inside of you. So I feel like I'm able to do that, and in my personal life, I'm having fun. I'm happy. I've got my family around me, my friends, and really, living every day like it's my last, which is tiring sometimes, but but it's good.
And we talk about the records and the possibility that you'll equal Ayrton this weekend. To do it here, where you made that decision to leave McLaren, to join Mercedes, everything. You see, because that's always the rumour, that it was here, that you walked away from that race and said that that's it. That's when I'm going to walk away.
You shouldn't believe everything people say. No, honestly, it wasn't. We had a meeting here, but I don't know if it was after this I went away, but I went away to Bali. It might have been after. I don't know if it was after this or it was Thailand I went to. I think it might have been after this race maybe, but I had like a 2-week time, and it wasn't the race that made that decision. We had a great weekend, and reliability issues come and go. It happens. But it was after that I sat and started to think about decisions, and it was a really difficult decision for me to make. But
you can finish second to Nico at every race going to the end of the season and still win this championship. Well, that's
yeah. I want to win.
He obviously had a reliability issue last time out. Is that the only thing that could now stop you from taking this championship?
I think in terms of, I'm going to perform like this for as long as I can. So I would, in my mind at the moment, there are only outside threats in that sense like that. But I feel confident in the car and the team that shouldn't happen. But if it does, it does, and we'll take the rough with the smooth.
That's your lot then from Paddock Pass here in Singapore. First time in almost a decade then that there will be an American racing in Formula One. We wish Alexander Rossi well. You can keep up with Alexander and how everybody else here does throughout the weekend. Here are your times. We are really looking forward to it. The haze does appear to have lifted. We are looking forward then to the Singapore Grand Prix 2015. For now though, that's your lot. See you later. Sorry for being a bit turd.